So, Connor, this thing, they are getting funding to get this repaired, and I think they're halfway there. So this is kind of a crown jewel of what people come out here for. It's beautiful. They'll get it done. They'll get it done. We've got full access today. General public does not.
I'm very excited, and that's when all the strange anomalies and the weird things in the forest, they feel comfortable, they feel at home. They're not ready for this, so hopefully we're just gonna bring our positivity and they're gonna embrace us because we're all one with the great creator.
I talked with Dixie, who runs this place, yesterday. She said they've been finding dead animals out here, not eaten. They found bones up in the tree hung like ornaments. And Dixie's a hard nut to crack. She's not completely in on all this, but she said, dude, there's some weird shit going on there right now. So we're gonna head out, head out in the boardwalk, and see what we can find. Stay tuned.
Right there is the famous Tatum House, built from 1889. James actually told me it was moved here. And you know what that reminds me of? The Gregory House from Torreya State Park. It was moved from Ocheesee Landing up to the top of Torreya. And of course, both areas have tons of skunk apes. So we're just drawing correlations and trying to find out what's in between the lines. I got the back of Cam.
All right, so we're pulling up here. This is the no trespassing zone. Thank you, Dixie. We get to trespass today. So keep in mind, this, whoa, I almost bit it. This will be cleared out and looking like brand new. The footing's treacherous. We got like rubber boots on because it's wet. So try not to bust our ass here. You all right, Connor?
Oh yeah, never been better. This is why I moved to Florida from Ohio, man. This is where I came to.
Yeah, it's starting to come down now too. And then there's like this big ass log put here. And when you look at it, like where would this log come from, right?
Yeah, it's just
there's shrubbery. There's no major logs, but like,
I see the rest a little bit over there. I don't know if it all just was thrown here or what. I don't know what caused this to begin with. It's a weird anomaly. I don't think it's paranormal, but it just shows that a lot of weird things happen in the swamp.
And this is like almost like in Oregon on the logging trails, where something puts a log down in front to block, you know, no entry.
Yeah,
but this is a big limb. It didn't just fall here. There's nothing here, you know, there's nothing here that it would fall from. Unless it was that over there, but somebody moved it over here.
Yeah, to be dropped right here. I'm taking it as a sign.
Let's keep moving. Shit's getting real. All right.
Oh yeah.
Made that through unscathed. Normally when we're out here, there's no water, right? It's, as far as the eye can see, there's no water.
Definitely, that wall will give if it goes through it.
Yeah. Look at that. I mean, that's like
completely
the road to nowhere, and there used to be a clear path.
I would love to see what's at the end of that.
Right?
Marsh.
Yeah, marsh. I think the marsh creek. I think the marsh found us. It's not that bad. You just get past the one spot. It's not that bad. And once they get this thing tuned back up, it's amazing. I just never seen the water level this high out here before.
It's prime real estate out here. This is one of the best locations I've ever searched through, and the exclusiveness is just unreal, man. Right now, guys, I'm doing some back cam footage, and that has been made famous by a couple researchers, but most famously Scott Carpenter, and he has recovered tons of strange images. And even myself, on my 4 recent pictures, there's always comments and timestamps of, look at 1218, there's a black nose coming through the forest. And one person saw a white wendigo, that's how they described it. And then other people have seen symbiotes, like clear creatures, kind of like venom. So what's out here, we don't know. And things get stranger than the fairies and Bigfoot and Nessie. There is interdimensional beings, and the whole nature, just life out here is communicating. And us humans, we just haven't tapped in generations. So if we can slow down just for a little, it provides the answers that we need. It's harmony. It really is. And we just want to be a part of it.
All right, we're keeping moving. Looks like the sun may come out a little bit now that we're soaking wet. You know what? This might be a cool little spot for you to leave something, a gift.
I'm actually going to leave a piece of my birthday cake because that has a personal connection with me. So I just want to leave my vibes and let them know that they're part of my family. And my mom cooked it, so sorry.
Made with love.
Sorry for not eating it, Mom, but I think it had more of a purpose than just being ate and pooped out.
And shat.
Yup. We rather see it in Sasquatch shat form.
What if we made like pot brownies or something for him?
That would be special, man. I have a couple nugs that I'm gonna leave as well, because we've heard many stories out of Humboldt that they pull the cones right off the top, so they go right at the highest THC levels. I also believe that they eat mushrooms, and of course they get mad when we interfere with their ginseng, because ginseng has so many medicinal purposes that when people are hunting them, they go missing. It's just math.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories about ginseng farmers out in those hills, man, having crazy encounters.
This is Paradise City.
Right?
This would be where I would camp tonight.
I've never had that many mosquitoes.
Yeah,
Like,
a
just all
normal
over me.
person would have been ran off long ago. That's why it pays to be back here, man, and I think the vibes are surrounding us, and even the skies are talking to us. Like James said, the heavens opened up for a little bit. And I'm a firm believer that heaven is a physical place, so it's watching over us. It's only 73 miles up. So man, heaven is closer than home for me.
Look at you, man. You're waxing poetic out here, bro.
I know, like I said, it's just math though, you know 73 miles.
I
drove 400 because I had to fill up.
Right, the best I could do is, I keep my wife guessing with Urban Dictionary terms, right? Ask her this, what's a blumpkin?
Oh,
she she smiles and says, I know it's something and you told me it, but I don't want to know. So, 73 miles up is heaven. Maybe you'll try some of that with her. So what you got here, donuts?
Yes, I have some donuts. I have a nice THC stick and my new GoPro that Standing Goats Rescue actually helped me fund. And as I'm talking, being a loudmouth, I'm hearing a bunch of cracks.
Yeah, I've been hearing some pops
there.
and cracks too. But man, yeah, it's this is like jungle fever out here, man. It is unbelievable. I've never been out here like this. And for not supposed to have any rain, we're sure getting a lot of rain. So it's making like audibly, we can't really hear what we want to hear, but we're definitely hearing some cracks. And we still got a ways to go to get to the lookout tower. When we get up there, we'll do some calls and see what we get back. So we're going to be gifting in a minute, but in the meantime, it's a couple days old.
Yes. I have a whole bag of turkey pepperoni, and that's for Sasquatch. I misbought that, and I don't even know if I'd eat that when I was the hungriest, man. Yes.
Donuts not bad, man.
The donuts are definitely sweets, and we got to bring things that are new to the forest. The most unhealthy dessert on the planet, but I think Bigfoot will wear it off. I recently heard that they can live on a rabbit a week. So something with their digestive system is very impressive, and they can kind of slow their bodies down and live out the harsh cold winters. And it kind of reminds me of a bear going into hibernation, of course. But man, all the different lore and fantasy mixed with the real life encounters, when you can find the pinpoints and when it all crosses together, that's when we're on to something.
Yeah, so Connor's asking me about where I'm from. Where am I not from? Was born in Anchorage, Alaska on an Air Force base. Moved from Alaska to Montana to Arizona to Nebraska, back to Alaska, and then back to Arizona, and then started 6th grade. So it was, you know, a whirlwind, man.
Yeah, and that's the time before, of course, you know, internet and stuff. You know, when you could stay in contact with your friends, you were moving around a lot. That definitely had to be hard in some ways, but it probably brought you closer with your family, going through a bunch of stuff and seeing a bunch of crazy places. That's a lot of those are on my bucket list, and a couple are on my hit list already.
Yeah, my brother died earlier this year, my oldest brother, and I went up to Alaska. I hadn't been there in decades. And then my other brother took me around again, and it's like, man, I definitely want to go back there and do some of this up there for real.
100%. There's so many good stories out of Alaska.
Crazy.
The Otter Man, Kushtaka,
Yeah.
and that Port Chatham story where they had to totally abandon the whole civilization because a lot of people were getting killed and going missing in the location.
They were finding bodies washed up.
Yup.
And they for real said, you know what, we're out of here. The whole town talked about the hairy man and put up stakes and left.
My buddy actually just returned there recently to film a commercial, and what I know, he's probably one of the first people to return back, and the terrain is incredible out there, and man, to have your Alaskan vibes out here in Florida, that's special.
All right, let's do a little gifting. They've got these boxes set up along the way, almost like little treasure boxes or gift boxes that we're gonna leave stuff in, and we know that it's hard enough for us to open them, so if anything opened it, we know it's gonna be two things: have hands and maybe a little smarter than us too.
Has good taste too.
Right. Donuts and bananas.
Honestly, breakfast of champions. Cool.
Nice. Well, looks like we've got sunshine back.
Now comes the sweat.
Yeah. We're getting up to the observation deck here.
This might actually be the camping spot next time.
Yeah, go all the way up there to the top of that.
Yeah, might as well. This reminds me of Payne's Prairie in Central Florida, and also in Mobile, Alabama, where you can look over the swamp. One of my favorite stories is the Mobile Wolf Woman. She's a pretty dog woman.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, some of the illustrations show she's kind of curvy. She's a little different than Huggin' Molly from Abbeville, Alabama. She's a giant 7-foot tall creature that will hug you so hard and squeeze you after dark and scream in your ears that you go deaf and insane and your bones crunch. So, sorry, Mr. Spider. I know you haven't had anybody interfere in a while. There's a bunch of them.
Okay. Was at that Halloween event Stacy had. We're standing right here. He did some calls. It's, you know, pitch black night, and then right down, is that big tree right there? Mm-hmm. I had my wife and daughter with me, and my wife's like, she didn't know anything about it. For me, and half listens most of the time anyway. But there's fireflies, right, which are white or maybe look a little green. And she's like, well, there's two red eyes, and I could not see it for the life of me. My other daughter goes, yeah, right there, and those two saw it clearly, and she's like, no, it's two eyes about that far apart, and where they pointed at is above where that first series of branches comes out. So minus the water, it's a good 8 feet, right?
That's giant.
Right, and she said they blinked off, like it shut its eyes. And she said, it's probably a firefly, right? And I'm like, well, it probably was because they're white or green. She's like, no, these are red. She's like, what color are their eyes? I'm like, well, red. So, not sure.
That's awesome to see the birds flying in numbers.
Yeah, big numbers.
By the thousands.
Wish I could zoom it, but it's like hundreds of them.
Yes.
And then over here is a little closer. Maybe you can see that.
Oh!
He went for the aggressive male.
Try to meet the alpha halfway.
Hear that? Just like someone stepped right in the water.
And it shows how close they can get being stealthy. They can be within 20 yards and you'd have no idea.
Something just moved down through there.
I just heard a noise.
I just saw it. It moved across that little hole. I saw it move. I don't know what it was. Big splash right there.
It's crazy how there's splashes right there and there. Like one after another. Can the water and the fish and frogs or whatever's in the water feel the vibrations? You know, it's
I don't know.
It's in synchronicity every time.